Praise to Allah, the highest honors, says Prophet LamadahYah. I also like to extend honors to our Sheikh staff, our admin staff, and our mighty vanguard to keep peace. I also like to extend honors to our forerunner, the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Islam. So my measure today was inspired by a question from Sunday school about time, and it's funny because all of our measures dealt with time and tracing ourselves back. So I'll read from our Circle 7, starting chapter 1. Chapter 1, the first paragraph. Islam, and it says, time never was when man was not. And that's what our question was. What does that sentence mean? What does it really mean? Like we say it all the time when we're late, time never was, but what does it really mean? Time never was when man was not. If life of man at any time began, a time would come when it would end. The thoughts of Allah cannot be circumscribed. No finite mind can comprehend things infinite. All finite things are subject unto change. All finite things will cease to be because there was a time when they were not. The bodies and the souls of men are finite things, and they will change. Yea, from the finite point of view, the time will come when they will be no more. But man himself is not the body nor the soul. He is a spirit. He is a spirit and a part of Allah. Creative fate gave to man a spirit. Creative fate gave to man, to spirit man, a soul that he might function on the plane of soul. Gave him a body of flesh that he might function on the plane of things made manifest. Why did creative fate give to spirit man a soul that he might function on the plane of soul? Why did creative fate give to soul a body of flesh that he might function on the plane of things that are made manifest? And so we'll go back to that first sentence. Time never was when man was not. And this made me think of something in the Emerald Tablets. And this is from Thoth the Atlantean. Islam. And so I'll read, and this is from, I guess, the Emerald Tablet 10. And it's entitled The Key of Time. And it says, "List ye, O man, take of my wisdom, learn of the deep hidden mysteries of space. Learn of the thought that grew in the abyss, bringing order and harmony in space." So we know that man is a thought of Allah, as we just read. "Know ye, O man, that all that exists has being only because of the law. Know ye the law, and ye shall be free." And what did Jesus say would make us free?
Truth.
The truth. Islam. "Never be bound by the fetters of the night. Far through strange spaces have I journeyed, into the depth of the abyss of time, learning strange and yet stranger mysteries, until in the end all was revealed. Know ye that mystery is only mystery when it is knowledge unknown to man. When ye have plumbed the heart of all mystery," and that's the key word as well, plumb. We're supposed to plumb ourselves and keep ourselves upright. So we have to keep the knowledge of the mystery upright. A lot of times we get into all of these, deeper schools, and we get these degrees just to be deep. But it has to be sincere. Our search for knowledge, our quest for knowledge has to be sincere to uplift ourselves. "So when ye have plumbed the heart of all mystery, knowledge and wisdom will surely be thine." So not just the knowledge part, but also the wisdom, knowing that you are one, that consciousness of being one with Allah. "Seek ye and learn that time is the secret whereby ye may be free from this space." And I'm going to skip down a little bit, and it says, "Once in a past time I spoke to the dweller, and asked of the mystery of time and space. Asked him the question that surged in my being." So this is, the question that the chairman had. What does that sentence mean? Time never was when man was not. And Thoth said, "O master, what is time? Then to me spoke he, the master. Know ye, O Thoth, in the beginning there was a void. It's similar to, in the beginning was the word. Know ye, O Thoth, in the beginning there was void and nothingness, a timeless, spaceless nothingness. And into the nothingness came a thought. That thought came from Allah. And into the nothingness came a thought, purposeful, all-pervading, and it filled the void. So not only was it a thought, it wasn't a vain thought, it was a purposeful thought. It was an intentful thought. It had intention behind it. It had will behind it. It wasn't just idle thoughts. So this was a thought that was sent out to fulfill a purpose. And into the nothingness came a thought, purposeful, all-pervading, and it filled the void. There existed no matter, only force, a movement, a vortex or vibration of the purposeful thought that filled the void. And I questioned the master, saying, was this thought eternal? And answered me the dweller, or the master, saying, in the beginning there was eternal thought. And for thought to be eternal, time must exist. So into the all-pervading thought grew the law of time. Yea, time which exists through all space, floating in a smooth, rhythmic movement that is eternally in a state of fixation. Time changes not, but all things change in time. For time is the force that holds events separate, each in its proper place. Time is not in motion, but ye move through time, as your consciousness moves from one event to another. Yea, by time ye exist, all in all, an eternal one existence. Know ye that even though in time ye are separate, yet still are one in all times existent. I'll read that sentence again. Know ye that even though in time ye are separate, yet still are one in all existence. Seize then the voice of the dweller, and departed I to ponder on time. For knew I that in these words lay wisdom, and a way to explore the mysteries of time. So the sentence or the section that stood out to me is that time changes not, but all things change in time. For time is the force that holds events separate, each in its proper place. So we understand that as masterminds, we measure time in cycle ages, and we can read that in chapter 2. I believe it's chapter 2. Excuse me, but I don't know where it is. I think it's in chapter 2. But it says that we measure time by cycle ages. So if we understand that we measure time by cycle ages, we have to understand that this is a certain time. And we have to understand what time we're in. So if we look at, I know this is in chapter 2, verse 13. Chapter 2, starting at verse 12, it says, we measure time by cycle ages, and the gate to every age we deem a milestone in the journey of the race. So if we look at even our slavery, there's a lot being, our time in chattel slavery, there's a lot being promoted to remind us that we came from slavery. Like there's a show on, I think it's PBS or something, called Know Your Roots. And no matter what, if it's an Asiatic on the show, he has to break the news to them that they came from slavery, or their forefathers were slaves, or such and such owned your grandfather, your great-great-grandfather. But as Moorish Americans, we know that that was just a milestone in such a greater scope of time. And if we go back, we trace ourselves back, we know that we came from who? From where? Who made you?
Allah.
Allah. So we can't debase ourselves to just say, okay, well, my forefathers were slaves, so that's why I do this. No, we came from Allah. And so that time is a measurement from now all the way back to Allah. And on that journey, we have different milestones. We did go through chattel slavery, but we also had great empires. So we have to understand what time we're in now. So it says we measure time by cycle ages. So these things repeat. We measure time by cycle ages, and the gate to every age we deem a milestone in the journey of the race. An age has passed. The gate unto another age flies open at the touch of time. This is the preparation age of soul, the kingdom of Emmanuel, of Allah and man. So this is the preparation age of soul. So we're getting ready, if not, we're going into another age. So this is the time to prepare ourselves to go onto that plane of the soul. So we have to prepare ourselves, and it goes into how you prepare yourself and how to, rend down the rock and make yourself pure to receive that love, to receive and give that love of Allah. So that's what time we're in now. But understanding that when it says time never was when man was not, it's saying that there was never a time where time existed and man did not exist. Because we are the creators of that time to use it, and we created that time to use it as a measurement. Just like we have different measurements, like we have the metric system, we measure different things. We measure process, or what's the exact wording it uses? For time is the force that holds events separate. So we use time to say this is when we were great, this is when we ruled, this is when we fell. And we can look back, we can trace ourselves back and say this is why we fell. This is why we were great at this particular time. And that was my measure. And with that, I leave you as I came in peace.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Hayya ala salah. Allahu Akbar.